What's up, guys? Back for another episode of Barbells and Banter. This episode we had some questions, so we fielded a lot of questions around, deficits, fat loss phases, refeeds, diet breaks, programming splits, when we make decisions on what exercise selection, those types of things. So dive into the episode. It's much more training related. There is a lot of banter at the start, as always. You can skip through it if you don't like it, obviously, and just get straight into the training stuff, but we think you'll like it. So stay tuned for that. Perfect opportunity to hit the follow, subscribe button, depending on what platform you're on. Support the mission. We're always putting out content. There'll be more training videos and stuff coming on the YouTube very soon. Share the podcast if you do enjoy it. There's probably other people out there just like you that don't know it's there and want to dive into it. And we obviously thank you for the support. All right, won't hold you up. Get into the episode and enjoy.
So I've come around a little bit on the MG.
Oh, yeah, of course. But is it a situation where, like, you know how you get like a dent in the wall and you're like, I'll fix it, and then you just never do? So you like, you know what I mean? So you're like, say you get a scratch on your car and you're like, oh, I'll get it buffed out, and you just leave it. Yeah. So like, I've got this little, I scuffed the Merc and the bumper bar underneath, but it's not underneath enough to not see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it fixed. And I looked it up, and but I haven't.
You just haven't.
So you just like lowering your own personal standard.
Look, I'm still really excited for my car to come back. I probably gave it too much hate, I think.
Did you get some pushback or something? Is this why? No. Is this you like just
definitely not?
The pedals
Definitely not. Yeah, it's got a little bit of character.
What, like, is the character bad though? Like,
yeah,
you know,
100% it is. Yeah, it's like this is.
It's just like, it's cute. It rattles.
Exactly. Yeah, it's terrifying, and I might
it's like,
die.
You put the foot down, and it just makes noise and goes nowhere. It's like, it's cute.
But it's built for Max Verstappen. It's very pointy in the front end.
Oh, cool.
So I'm having fun with that, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's like, I'm like, look at you trying to be a race car with no other qualities that are good. You're just like trying to have really sharp turning.
Do you reckon that's what they like? Will give it one thing. Like when they do like the design,
honestly,
let's give it one call.
So take Max.
That's how they get people to think it's fast.
Yeah, maybe it feels fast. Yeah, which is actually incredibly dangerous. Like, if like for public safety, you want cars that understeer, not point and oversteer, especially front wheel drives. Like that's how you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's actually another negative for the car, but I like it.
Yeah, but no one. Yeah. You like it because you can get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
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 I remember the first time I understeered in my like first ever car, and I was just like going straight for this roundabout. I was like, ooh, I don't know what to do.
I'm in trouble.
I don't know what to do here. Let's just ride it out and hope that I stop.
Not much, to be honest.
Yeah. That car was indestructible.
Understeer is just stop touching everything. That's the solution.
And just slide and then just hope that you stop.
But whereas like oversteer, most people turn the wheel, and that's when you get into trouble because then you do grip and you end up in a fucking telephone pole.
Yeah, I may have done that on the way home from the gym in the ute one day, and I may have bent the back axle of my car because it like whipped around and then it smashed into the gutter.
Yeah,
and I tried to drive it, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it was just tearing into the back fender.
Yeah. You had a mate that
car was never the same after.
Yeah, went slide up the gutter and it like ripped, grabbed the bottom of the wheel and just snapped the whole hub.
That's the only accident I've had where like it was my fault.
You're being silly.
Yeah. I've never done anything else.
Yeah, I've got a couple of rear ends in the bank now.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't had many. I had someone T-bone me in Steph's De Ulanos. and
that would have been terrifying.
Yeah, but it wasn't hard. It was coming out of a supermarket. So like, you're doing 50 Ks. And the best thing about it was that he hit in a spot where someone had hit Steph's car on the street.
Yeah.
So I got out of the car and I'm like, fuck yeah. And then Steph's got out and she's like, you fucking idiot. This is years ago. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, babe, this is mad. Yeah. Like, we're going to get the car fixed for free. Yeah. We had to go to the airport, I think. So yeah, we're just straight. But like, I got out and I was like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I had two because when I bought, remember the last straw on the ute? Like how I just love tapped that dude in the back when we went to bounce.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm buying a new car.
Yeah. Fuck this car.
This is like,
fuck this car that doesn't stop.
But literally,
distances.
like the bumper bar just had a crack in it. It was like, I'm buying a new car.
Yeah.
I remember I hit the
it's
dude.
It's like when you need to replace the battery. And you're like, nah, this car's fucked.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Once the pre-contemplation of buying a car was already there.
Yeah.
It's like I just moved up the stages of change so fast.
Straight to car sales.
Yeah. I remember I had 2 cars for a bit. That was annoying.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Trying to sell yours.
Yeah. But it was annoying, but I wasn't held to ransom on my car as well.
Yeah.
Because, like the house,
you can afford it, yeah.
I had to I didn't compromise on the house, but had to
move it
wiggle.
on.
About 10 grand.
Had to move it on.
Yeah. It's like, I wanted 10 grand more,
Yeah.
but then I also didn't want to pay $8,500 a month
Yeah.
in fucking mortgage fees for both houses. So I'm like, you really got me tied by the nuts here, bro.
I did that when I sold the Merc, actually. Because I sold it just in lockdown.
Yeah.
Like the first wave of maybe in the 2 weeks. Huh? And I went in and priced it all up and stuff. I'm like, if you give me this for mine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't do that. I'm like, okay. I just came to have a look. That's fine. And just went home.
Yeah. It's always
And they were just like, oh.
It's always good to be in it. It's like,
Fuck.
I'm in the position of power
It's
here,
like,
bro, not you.
oh no, I have to keep my Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Looking forward to that when
a month later, they're like, hey, so we've got, of course you do.
That's it. Imagine that. You're just like, I don't need your car, but here's my number when you're ready to chat.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
That's pretty much what it was.
Walking out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
What do you reckon?
Just about to compliment them.
What do you reckon? First drive.
Very nice.
I thought this would be a nice, comfortable first ride to here and then back to the shoebox when I get home.
Yeah. And that's it. Live in there forever.
Someone was like, "You gonna wear them?" I'm like, "Bro, I've already laced them." I was wearing them around the house and shit, trying to work out what fits they have, or what fit I can put together.
Yeah, what you can pair it with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, they're good.
How's the quality?
Yeah, they're definitely legit, so I'm happy with that.
They don't feel like plastic.
No, you do the scrunch test. It's like, I've looked it all up.
Okay.
And there's like a little barcode on the box.
What's the scrunch test? Tell me.
So you got to squeeze them.
Right.
Yeah, and if they crumble,
No good.
no good.
Got ya.
Yeah, because the leather is shit, so it'll just fold in.
Yeah.
And I also, when I was in Bali, I was doing a bit of reconnaissance for my own good. So I'd go into those shoe stores. Yeah, shoe stores by the
Seashells.
seashores. By the seashores. And I would pretend I wanted to buy them. And I'm like, is this the best quality you got, boss? And he's like, oh, yes, best quality. And then I'll just squeeze the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Now it's ruined. Have it back.
They wanted 70, obviously I don't want $70, but that was the price
Yeah.
of a fake shoe. Would you pay $70 for a fake shoe? I mean, these are
depend if I like them.
To be fair, it's you pay $300 for these.
Yeah.
Retail.
Yeah.
I did not.
No.
Unfortunately.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I tried real hard to.
Yeah. I've got a pair of those orange dunks that I've got. They're crazy expensive now.
You can get those on StockX.
I went to a powerlifting comp in them.
Yeah. You can get those on StockX at a reasonable price. I was looking the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love the shattered backboards. The I've got the glossy ones.
Yeah.
I want the other ones. I want ones like yours, but in the highs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking $1,800. Maybe one day. Maybe next week.
I still if I ever decide that I'm gonna do the shoe thing, the Carolina Blues are number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
StockX, man.
Yeah.
You open the gym. Go buy yourself something nice.
Hey,
that's it.
Hey, you strong colours.
Yeah. Go buy it. You deserve it, King.
Probably, shoes probably one of the things I wouldn't buy fakes.
Nah, never.
Yeah, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you buy that's fake? What would you buy consciously?
I
would buy a fake body kit for my car. It's about as fake as I'll go.
Fake,
You know, there's an AMG Black Series kit,
Yeah.
and it's they're $150K from AMG.
It's all markup. Yeah.
So you buy it off Temu.
Yeah. I did that for my motorbike.
I only say that because I watched a YouTube video of a guy doing it.
I did it for my motorbike, but it was
But you'd buy it. Aftermarket
I
fake
had
shit for
the
your car.
RR, but I bought.
Yeah.
I just wanted different colored fairings.
Yeah. But that's I don't know if what else would you buy this?
I don't think there's
a wallet.
I don't think there's anything
A wallet.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, my New York beanie's fake.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know because you bought it from a shop.
No, it was $3. I was
but
aware.
but were you desperate?
I'm pretty sure this isn't a licensed.
Were you desperate for the beanie?
Yeah, I had to get a beanie.
Yeah, so that's different though. You didn't consciously go.
Yeah.
The New York beanie's too expensive. I'm gonna buy the shit one.
Oh well,
No.
yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
That definitely did happen.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. I'm so dad era right now. I'm there's nothing that I would care enough.
It's like you go to the Lavo market or the Vic market, and there's
what I
a Balenciaga t-shirt.
Yeah, there's nothing that I care about enough
to
buy a fake one to flex.
I agree.
It's like,
Yeah.
where'd you get your shirt from? Target. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe an NBA jersey when you're like wanted to wear it to the gym, but I don't do that anymore.
Chances are no one's going to look close enough anyway.
Yeah.
I've got a good fake one. Everyone asks me where I got it from. I'm like, I can't tell you, bro.
So
It's discontinued.
I'm ashamed of myself.
on the jersey front, there is big news in the Scott house.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure how I feel about it, but
Who's taking your jersey?
my son
Oh yeah.
has been labelled a Lakers fan.
Yeah. I feel I bring it down to access.
Well, that was a discussion.
Just conceded, and I'm like, you can't buy
Yeah.
Oklahoma City shit.
So the thing is, I like the Lakers have the most likable shit all the time, and I'm like, I really like that. Oh, it's the Lakers. I really like that. Oh,
It's very
the Lakers.
fashionable.
Yeah,
Because they
but
have, like,
purple and gold isn't they're not good colors, but now they
But they do
like,
so many colorways.
I was just about to say now they do heaps of colorways. Back in the day they did not.
Yeah, and you can get
It's just shit to wear like a purple jersey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and like ironically, the one she got's like the blue. It's not.
It's not. It's got like a sandy color as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Jess showed up with a Lakers t-shirt for him.
Love it.
All right. it's done.
EDM. Lakers.
Yeah. Tomorrowland first birthday party. We're thinking
That's it.
it's gonna be.
He's going to follow Manchester United. Doesn't have a choice.
I don't give.
He's probably
a fuck.
never watched
I
soccer.
don't give a
He's probably
fuck
never
about
watched a game of soccer ever.
that.
And he's going to be. Oh, actually, what race team will he follow?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah, you just follow
Drivers.
whoever's good. He's a glory hunter.
Yeah. Look, I've probably supported.
Do you like McLaren now?
Nah, I'm still.
That's all right. I've
Still
got respect for you.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, yeah, McLaren's good. Like,
I like Oscar,
chasing who's winning.
but that's it. I just like people.
Do you reckon, so
Here we go.
you know how he won his first race?
Mm.
Would you be happy winning a race like that?
He said it was a little
Nah.
like it's a shame.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
little brother, like
Yeah.
big brother letting little brother win in like air hockey or some shit.
Yeah, but
You know, it's like when Steph and I play air hockey and I think she wins. It's like, I'll let you win.
yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But ultimately, like it's hard because if they had have pitted him first, he
Yeah,
wins.
but they chose not to.
I know.
So
But they chose the one too. Whereas if they had just went right, we're going for Oscar's gonna win.
but they undercut their own driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, McLaren just.
And
did
then they're just
shit.
like, oh, yeah, Lando, like, just do the right thing, buddy,
Yeah.
and
Well,
just
they-
let your little brother through.
They
Like,
told him before the pit stop though, like we're gonna do
Yeah.
this so you get second. But
but if you've
you
got a
have to lose.
guy who's second in the championship, it's like, I don't know, I
Yeah.
just think it's...
Yeah.
And then to his defense was like, I did it at the end so we could cross the line together.
Lando was dumb. Lando should have done it immediately out of the pits and then passed him.
Or tried to.
Yeah. Why he waited so long was a very Lando move.
Yeah, just not making the best decision at the right time.
Yeah. That's what 5 races now
Yeah.
that he should have won.
Yeah.
And he's won 1.
Yeah, he should have won too.
Well, he was
that
on
last
pole
week?
for this one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Charles Leclerc 2.0.
There was,
Yeah.
Like, speaking of
Imagine if they were in the same team.
obscure.
Front row
obscure-
every week, finish 4th.
I guess. Do you reckon like Charles, like he qualifies and just knows he's not going to finish there?
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm on pole again. Have a good day, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm still...
It's better to like win like that though. Your first one,
Yeah.
especially the first one. The first one would be
Yeah.
cool.
I think it'll be good when he just wins on merit.
surely, he's like accruing the most amount of points as a young driver comparative to like other people though
Oscar,
in recent years. Like
probably second to Max.
and Lewis, right?
Maybe not Lewis, but Seb.
Because
Seb
he's
was
like, he's doing real well. It's like second year, yeah.
Yeah.
Second, third,
Second.
Yeah.
second, yeah.
He's already won a race.
Yeah.
It's Aussie guys. We gotta love him.
Walked in in the car that Danny built. That's why.
Right.
Danny designed the car for
Yeah.
him.
Fair.
One-
Danny and Carlos.
yeah.
They're both doing real well now.
Yeah. Fuck. But there's moments in races where things happen, so I like have no loyalty to any team or whatever. I just like it. Just really like watching it, and then shit happens, and I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently, I do really like Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Like when they crashed, I was like, fucking Lando, dickhead.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Okay, that was a very 50-50 thing.
Yeah, for me, I was just like,
They both did shit wrong.
I hope they both crashed.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, I am a legitimate Max fan.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm definitely, like, Lewis is definitely got, because when Max,
This year,
when Max crashed into him, I'm like, how dare you? Don't crash into my
I hate
Lewis.
it. I've hated him for so long. And he passed, I think he passed George, and I was like, ooh,
Yes.
I like Lewis more than George. Okay,
Yeah.
that's new.
I feel like that's easy to do.
Yeah. But I think this year, because he's leaving, he's just been not a dick, which is great.
It's also much better when like there's not one person just annihilating the sport for forever.
Yeah.
That's with every sport.
I like
Unless you like them.
I like Max's tantrums too.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's hilarious how many Lewis fans are jumping on him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he doesn't have the fastest car, so he sucks. I'm like, well, have you been around for the last 8 years? Like,
Yeah.
Lewis sucked when he had the fastest car.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the competitive spirit.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think it's unfair that we hear what's in the helmet
Yeah, I
a
agree.
lot of the time.
They should be able to just say
Yeah.
what comes in the heat.
Because like you listen to Lando's radio and you're like, I fucking hate this guy. And then he gets out of the car and he's like, oh, look, I know Oscar's done.
Yeah.
How many times Oscar's done this for me?
Yeah.
It's a team play. Yes, it's really
Yeah, if they
disappointing.
get-
I'm
like-
upset. You're like, okay, well, you got to take him at that. You can't take him at.
Adrenaline's high. You're driving over 200 kilometers an hour on average. Getting up to speeds like 300. It's like you're wired. They're wired.
They reckon
Of course
that's
they're gonna
why.
yell and swear and shit.
they're on all of the modafinil. They reckon that's why, like, you get road rage. Because, like, you're moving at a speed a human shouldn't move.
Yeah, your sensories.
In a tin can. So you're wound up already.
Yeah, so you're already the
shit
only
that
option.
you wouldn't normally react to.
Yeah.
You'd, like, go way over the top.
Yeah, there's just fight. That's
yeah.
it.
So take doing that when someone cuts you off at 80
Mm.
and then take that to you're managing 800 things on a steering wheel.
Mm.
It's like, imagine having someone talking to you, a kid crying in the back, traffic, rain, and then someone cuts you off and now do it at 300 kilometers an hour. Like,
Yeah, that's even when they talk, they're just like, tell them shut up.
yeah.
It's like, I get it. If I'm like cooking dinner and Steph's talking to me, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna burn the house down. Like, what is happening here?
Let me turn the volume down so I can
cut
read
potatoes
the street
so I don't
signs.
slice my finger up, woman. Like that. I don't need to hear about your day yet. It's for dinner time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
I need
a shut up, Jace.
Fuck.
yeah. I need to turn the stereo down so I can see.
Do you do that? So
Yeah, probably.
Yes. So I'm so conscious of it, I almost like go the other way.
Just to like flex on it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I should be able to do
I
this.
still parked with the music loud.
It's such a silly thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
So now I'm like,
inputs, right?
yeah, now I'm like, don't turn it down because you're getting old. Like, you can do this. It's like, you can do this, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really old. I looked at those. Seen the Hoop earplugs?
are they the ones you wear to sleep?
So you can wear them to sleep. You can also wear them just like in noisy
Loud
environments.
environments.
So you get
Yeah.
they like tune them that they pick up voice,
Yeah.
but kind of tune out everything
The
else.
white noise.
So it's way less stimulating.
Do they just like pierce white noise through your ear or?
I don't know how they work, but
Yeah.
It'd be similar to how noise cancelling works. It picks up
Yeah.
certain frequencies
Yeah.
and blocks it out with
Yeah.
So,
sound.
like,
Doesn't the noise cancelling have this like frequency though that just like
Gets through.
yeah, like it just sits because like when I put the noise, it's just like this like
yeah,
but it's like real light.
yeah,
It's delightful.
yeah. We're not neurospicy at all, bro. Yeah, I was like, this would be really nice at like High Point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wore them on the plane all the time.
Yeah,
Even I had earplugs and them on.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
Leave me
nothing.
alone. Yeah,
I don't want to hear nothing.
yeah. So I'm tempted. They're like $100. And you get like
Yeah.
you get a sleep, a like cafe conversation, and then like a loud environment mode.
I wonder what they'd be like on like sleep. You know when you sleep on one, like
The reviews said they're not comfortable, but I don't have any issues with sleep. I actually
Yeah.
need noise when I sleep.
because you'd have to sleep like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you snore.
I'd just be curious
Well, I
what
would.
it would be like. Like even going to Formula One.
Yeah,
Not that I don't want to hear the cars, but
Nah.
just like the ambient noise.
yeah. We
being
were pretty
loud all the time.
pretty loud when we were close.
The V8s were.
Yeah, that was a bit too loud.
Yeah, the V8s were louder than that.
I was like, that's a frequency that's damaging your eardrums.
Yeah.
It's like, sounds good, bro.
All right, I've gone from deaf at 80 to deaf at 79. This day cost me a year.
Yeah. Doesn't like listening like loud ass music in your headphones like deafen you and shit as well?
Yeah, it's all bad for you.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Everything's bad.
I've been burning the candle off at multiple ends.
Yeah,
for a very long time now.
Yeah, I've been looking into I'm not gonna be able to quote the numbers, but decibel stuff for LJ, like when he should have headphones on. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, well, like 7 or something.
I think it's 7. No, 50 is safe, and that's like normal conversation.
Oh, sorry, I meant 7 years, but yeah.
Oh no, yeah. So like the decibel range that is safe.
So each year
is like
they can get exposed to something a tiny bit louder.
No, that's like never. Permanent. Wow. So for us, like,
so we're deafer than we could have been.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I always wondered about like why you see kids getting around with headphones on. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, but not even they're earmuffs. They're not even headphones.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. We had them on for.
And I'm like, do they just do this because it's cute? Like, because it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
When they have the the
yeah,
the patterns on them and shit.
Like
we got some. We got some for the Ground of Strength Open Day.
Yep.
For him.
Well, I figured that because the weight's hitting the ground and stuff.
Yeah, it was more the cheering than anything.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't sure like music wise.
He might crack
all
it
of that
as well.
But fuck, Amy's trying to feed him, and like every time like another lift, everyone would clap. He was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Last night. So, Amy and I are pretty quiet. All of our family are pretty quiet. Not like loud people.
Yeah.
So Jess came over last night, and he was just like, "What is happening?" It took him about 10 minutes just to be like, "I think you seem okay, and you're really nice to me."
Yeah, it's really loud.
But that's a really loud volume coming out of you, and I don't know how to process it.
Yeah. I remember when Cleo met Brenton for the first time, she just peed. Like, this is fucking loud ass person just coming at me like just peed on the floor. Like, oh, she hates you, bro.
Yeah. By the end of the night, they were best friends, but at the start, he was just like, "Wow, that's a lot of sound."
Yeah,
it's great.
So how's your cut going?
Good. So first round, I was 2 kilos down from where I started.
So are you doing the thing again where you do the?
Yeah, I'll do it all the way in. So I think it's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I
love that.
So moderate week this week, which is nice.
So you're doing 2 weeks blow?
Yeah. So very low. I would say it's moderate. High, very high.
So is high maintenance?
I think technically, well,
or are you gonna be like slightly above, slightly below?
Yeah.
That
So
week?
predicted maintenance. What I thought was maintenance was like 24 because I was sitting on 24 and it wasn't really moving.
Yeah.
Was I definitely 24 over the week? I don't know. Probably not. So it might have been a little bit higher, but I lost on 26 and then held at like 20, I think it's 29 is the next jump or 3.
Yeah.
And then only gained a little bit.
Yeah. I wonder if you held
week.
at 28, 29 just because like the more food you just move more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the other, like I haven't had this many steps that I've had in the last month.
I'll just start wearing my watch again.
It's too many variables. To answer your question, there's too many variables. But it goes 21, 26. What's that, 500? So it'll be 31, 36.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
36 weeks fun.
Do you think you'd lose more if you eradicated the 36?
Yeah. But it's not really the goal though.
Yeah. Cool. So what's the goal?
Like recomp.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can do both.
Do you think at your training status you can?
I don't think the training status is the metric. Let's put it that way.
Let's still consider it. It's still part of it.
Yeah, but I think there's enough that it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going good then.
Yeah.
Any cheat days?
I definitely look better. I have 1 meal a week it's
a free meal?
Yeah, but it's not. I still haven't been a dickhead.
So what are your parameters for your free meal?
I haven't placed any, but I just haven't felt like it.
Just don't eat like an asshole?
Yeah, like we go to the pub, I get a snitty and chips.
Yeah.
Like
so you just have a meal?
Yeah.
You don't have like
a box of Haagen-Dazs and shit like I normally would.
A packet of Oreos, top of ice cream,
and a
pizza, some arancinis, and half a pasta.
Yeah.
You don't do that?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not
fair. Fair. That's real fair. Hey, I'm down 1 kilo this week, right? So that's the method.
The man's on.
That's the method.
The man's on.
That's my method. Remember that diet we used to do?
We still be 1 kilo down on Monday?
Well, that's the plan. Well, I don't really have much on this weekend. So we're going out for dinner on Saturday night, Steph and I. So Asian fusion is the choice.
Yeah, cool.
I thought I'd mix it up for pizza.
Yeah, I think we'll go out Saturday night too.
Yeah, Steph was like, should we go out for dinner? And I was like, what for? She's like, open a gym.
You're opening a gym, bro.
Yeah, you've wanted to do that since you were like 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're just so overwhelmed and stressed. I'm just like, not excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Amy asked me last night, are you excited? I'm like, no.
yeah.
She's like, why not? I'm like, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. It's like the holiday. Everyone's like excited for the holiday. I'll be excited when we're there.
At the airport.
Yeah. Even the airport, I'm like, we still got to get there.
Yeah. When we land.
I still got a fucking 9-hour commute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the real. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going out for dinner, Asian fusion. So surely,
Do you think that's us mastering the pendulum thing?
I think so, because when you get so excited so much when you're younger and then you get crushed,
Yeah.
you're just like, how many times can I do this again?
Yeah.
So I think you just get used to just being neutral. It's like you have a good week, it's like cool. But you have a bad week, you're like,
yeah, it's
there'll be more good weeks ahead.
Walking the line of like, so managing the pendulum swing for context of what the fuck that means.
The pendulum swing of life.
Yeah, it's like you try to avoid getting too excited about the wins, so then you don't get too down on the losses because you can't.
I'm gonna add that
survive.
to my mastery handbook. Oofed. Yeah, sorry guys, but always working.
So yeah, I think it's a walking the line between that and then also only experiencing relief and not satisfaction when a task is complete.
Yeah.
Because that's the bad side of it, right? It's like you never actually take a minute to be like, this is really good.
Absolutely.
You're just like,
you're just so hard on yourself. Yeah, you're like, thank God.
It's done.
Box ticked.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely the downside.
Yeah.
But then like go the other way, and it's like if a bad week goes, you're like crying, angry.
That's
you know, and then you have a good week, and then you're happy. Like it sounds like you're a category 4.
But that's But that's what the pendulum swing should be, right? It's like if it's healthy, it's you don't get too upset and you don't get too happy.
Yeah, but
So
if you
then
were,
you manage
but
it
if you
well.
were, you'd be erratic.
Correct. Yeah, which we spent 10 years in our business doing. Whereas the trap is feeling like I'm a piece of shit that I didn't get it done, or it's only satisfactory that I got it done.
Yeah.
Like that's the other side that you got to be careful of.
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely on that side.
Yeah.
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 Now we're definitely, maybe we swung too far because we were like so emotional beforehand.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to my cheat day.
Let's talk about food more.
I swear that's all we've talked about last year. Can you tell everyone's in a deficit? Everyone's just so food focused.
Yeah.
It's that time of the year now. It's like
When you were
pushing
having
the shreds.
the chat on Standout yesterday about all the food resources and stuff,
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like, I'm so fucking hungry. And I just realized I didn't have breakfast before this, and I was supposed to.
Yeah, I have the best protein bar ever on the bench there.
It's a big fucking call.
Yeah, I know.
Have you had the white chocolate Musashi?
It's better.
Stop it.
Stop
it.
It's better if you aren't just chasing crunch and you just like flavor. It's better.
Right.
If you like gooey, fudgy, and then then just nice complementary flavors, it's better.
I just really like white chocolate, and it's on there.
Well, it's white chocolate. Is it white chocolate salted caramel or white chocolate peanut butter or something? It's fucking hectic. They were like half price. I bought
Didn't expect you to talk dirty to me on the podcast.
I bought
today.
an unhealthy amount of them, and I have been. And I bought the white chocolate one, so I've been alternating days, and I still enjoy. The euphoria is very similar when I eat
each one,
but I feel like just that little bit higher with the grenade bar.
Yeah, back on Maxi ones next week.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Me too.
So yeah, I'm going Asian fusion on Saturday. I'm not going to eat like an asshole. I don't know, because my first pick was to have Turkish food.
Yeah.
Like good, nice Turkish.
Are you
food.
on like?
I didn't want to go to like your local kebab house. You just have. I was like, can we go to
that
a Turkish
caravan in Hoppers?
Yeah, I'm like, can we just go to like a Turkish restaurant?
Yeah,
and I just want to eat Turkish food.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get
not
into
a
the places that we wanted to get into are booked out, and I was like, I like that. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Book
scratch
me
that
for
one
a
off.
month's time.
Yeah. So Asian fusion's the goal, which I really live in Melbourne.
How fancy?
I don't want to have like a 5-star like small portion place, but
Alright.
pretty reasonable.
Ho Chi Mama's
So that was.
I'm about
I said to
it.
Steph, I said, book a Ho Chi Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be the plan if we don't get in there.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know if they do bookings. So a couple of times I've had to like walk in, just have to line up.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like maybe I just wasn't prepared that night, and then
Yeah.
you go for a few drinks, and then come back when they give you a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
So the third preference is pizza.
Yeah.
So that's always like trusty dusty. Like if you can't get in the restaurants you want,
Go there.
I'm gonna have pizza.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I'll probably end up going out Sunday night. I don't think.
Yeah.
Because LJ's coming. It's a big day.
Yeah.
Don't think he'll enjoy Ho Chi Mama.
No.
After 8 hours at the gym.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be good for him, bro. Yeah.
He might. We probably won't.
Yeah. He has a really, really simple life. Everything is on his terms.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want that, and I'm going to have it.
Yeah, I'm just going to cry until I don't have it.
Yeah. He's gotten to the point where everything's like, just want to grab it.
Right.
So it's just, tables are an experience.
That doesn't fucking change, man. Like, we took my mate's kid to the shops, and he's like 7. And we're like, now don't touch anything.
Yeah.
And then he's fucking great. Oh, hey, what about this? Can I have that? Can I have this? And he's like, what did I say about touching shit? And then we go in the bottle shop, and he's grabbing shit. Do you want this? And I'm like, man, this all the time, huh?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oof. Fair.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
I must have just like, I don't know, maybe I've blacked it out and I did get beaten as a child or something. I don't know. But like,
Yeah, you always think like you weren't that bad. It's like you fucking were.
if I get near anything that like you can tell if I think something's nice if I put my hands in my pockets. So if I walk into
Really?
a nice store, I still fucking do it, bro. Or if I walk up to a nice
I
car,
can't wait.
if I walk up to a nice car, I'll put my hands either behind my back or in my pockets
No way.
because I'm like, don't touch the fucking car.
Oh, yeah.
Straight
That's
away.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just like,
That's very observant.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, you're 30. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to stand next to the car without your hands in your
Yeah.
pockets. But
Yeah. But that's, to be fair, if you go to a car show and you see a nice car, look around, everyone's doing this.
yeah.
Everyone.
Get your
Yeah.
hands away from it.
So it's very true.
Yeah, it's
That's
wild.
fucking funny as.
Must have just been like hammered into me.
I reckon.
Put your hands in your pockets. We're going in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I have questions. Do you have anything to talk about?
Yeah, let's do it.
No, we're good. All right.
Actually, I
Fire.
want to tell you about I found a new leg press at the gym.
Yeah, cool. Far away.
I found a pin-loaded leg press that I like.
Can you get in and out of it though? Because that's always
Yeah.
been the issue on a pin-loaded press.
Yeah, so single leg.
Oh, okay.
And I've never used a leg press that I can get my foot so low on the pad.
Oh, yeah.
So I can
So you get good knee flexion?
absolute terminal knee flexion
Mm.
and get to 90 at the hip.
Yeah, that's very good for your vastus medialis. Ben.
I was very
Did
happy
a
with it.
post on Instagram about quad training.
I did 2 reps and I was like, I'm in trouble tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I haven't felt this in like a really long time.
Yeah. That's crazy. Another question that's unrelated. When you were powerlifting and you had bigger quads, did you have bigger outer quad to inner quad? Would you think? This is just a...
No, I was like probably 90% just inner
No,
thigh.
so not not adductor. So if you're looking at your quad,
Yeah.
so you have like this. We'll go bro terms, right? So your teardrop,
None.
but your outer sweep,
Good.
yeah, okay, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been investigating
From a like
quad development. And I
Yeah.
was just looking at like EMG data, which doesn't tell the story for everything. Get it with things relationship. Blah, blah, blah.
fuck off.
Yeah, just like observational evidence.
Yeah. All
is-
powerlifters look like this.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
are a powerlifter who low bar squats and doesn't have like deep knee flexion,
Mm.
your outer sweep is like significantly more developed than the teardrop.
Yeah.
And then if you have someone who like look at
Like an ollie lifter.
look at an ollie lifter, like their like calves smash against their hamstrings and their vastus medialis is like fucking super developed.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at that and then moving down the totem pole, I was thinking about like exercise selection, and then it was like if you wanted to completely develop the quad, I was like, well, what exercises could you just like tick all the boxes?
Yeah.
So then I was like leg press, leg extension, and for someone who can't squat deep, for someone who can't squat deep, leg extension, a hack squat, something like that.
Yeah.
So they could get deep. So if you do leg extension, leg press,
Yeah.
and some form of squat where your calves can touch your hamstrings, you've ticked all the boxes, right?
Yeah.
So,
After our chat last week, I'm due for a new program, so I always have like an experiment week. Just play with stuff.
Bro week.
Yeah. Good girl. No. Bad girl.
Yeah. What do you do those? Curious. Why?
It's warm my hips up.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. No, I was just curious if you're doing them for like as in a part of the program that's stimulatory or it's preparative.
I actually did it because Jess had hurt her back.
Yeah.
I wrote her a program for a bad back, trained with her, did that, and then hack squatted, and I was like, this feels fucking great. So I just kept doing them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bad girls into Smith RDLs, into single leg press, into seated hamstring, into leg extension.
Yeah, it's good.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, it's a good workout.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Mine's the same. I just do adductors instead.
Yeah, and you hack squat.
Because I want the mass. Yeah, hack squat too. I use single leg press. Yeah. Pussy.
Yeah. It's early and I don't want big
Nah,
legs.
I feel ya. It's funny. I walked into the gym the other day and I was just like, oh man, I don't want to hack squat. Fuck. But I did it. But I was like looking at the leg press. Because our leg press is so shit.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
You look at the hack squat and you're like, I'll just hack squat.
Yeah, it's better.
I'll just go through like the excruciating pain and the extra muscle length.
Yeah.
In that lengthened position and just deal with that. I'd rather feel that than my ankles, knees, and hips
hurt,
exploding
Yeah.
with like minimal weight.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good thing.
Mm.
Maybe that's why the legs aren't an issue, you know?
Yeah.
Because I just have to squat in the gym.
Yeah.
Just have to squat.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my mum yesterday, and my mum's been in and out of the gym her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where I got most of the interest when I was younger. And she was talking to me about her training. She's like, the manager like always tells me like I should lift more weight and this and that. I'm like, Mum, he probably doesn't even work out. She's like, yeah, by the look of him, he doesn't really look like he trains. And I'm like, well, a lot of people just own businesses. Like they just own the business. They don't really are interested in fitness. And then she's like, yeah, he seems to just talk to all the heroes. And I go, what's a hero, Mum? And she goes, oh, those guys are like strut around the gym and this and that. I go, so that's me.
Yeah. I am him.
Yeah. I was like, that's me, Mum. And she goes, no, you're scientific. She goes, you train and you're scientific. I go, oh, okay, so they're stupid. And she's like, oh, well, maybe. I go, we call them bros, Mum. We call them bros.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. Fucking heroes.
That's the best. Heroes is pretty accurate.
Yeah. It's pretty good, though.
A lot of the time.
It's just like, but like, that term doesn't get used that much.
You know
what I mean?
It's not. It's like so derogatory for us. If I called someone a hero, it's like I hate you.
Yeah.
Like that's a big stab. It's like there's
no coming back.
There's champ, and then a little bit further down, there's hero.
Like champ's that big for you?
No, it's like champ is disrespectful.
Yeah.
But like hero is like it's
way worse. You're talking like scratching the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like it's below. I was like, fuck yeah, champ.
Yeah, the guy that was at the airport that told me to move on when there was 800 car parks around me, I called him a hero.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Because he was a dick.
Yeah. Champ. You going, champ?
Yeah.
Would you say the difference is if you call someone a hero, you want to fight?
What if someone calls you? Sorry, answer that first.
Versus champ.
Yeah, champ's just like.
What if they finish the champ and put Ian like champion? Like what's the deal with that?
So
hey, champion.
I didn't like that. That didn't feel nice at all.
Yeah, champion.
I didn't. Look.
Nah, I reckon champ's worse.
Yeah.
Champ's because you can say it with venom. Because it's one syllable.
So I feel like champ.
It's like
now we're getting deep.
Yeah, we go Shep days.
If there's
Shep Ben's coming out.
the right type of person, probably aesthetically, maybe accent driven, that says champ is okay.
Yes. Because I feel like they use it up.
Yeah. If you're
just in the places that are above us.
Yeah. If you're a bogan and you're older than me, you're probably going to get away with champ.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you put, yeah, see, like,
if you're the same age and you're at a nightclub,
I'm a punch you in the face.
that's good. That's great.
Yeah, if you
So
got,
don't call
like,
Ben champ. You've heard it here.
if you've got a flannel on and like
calling me a jive turkey.
some like, I don't know, Rivers or Levi jeans or something on that. Like if you drop a champ with that, I'm like, that's fine.
It's Ben's jive turkey.
He likes it.
That's it. It's like, no, he called you a cocksucker. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Hero
I'm fucking-
doesn't have that
I mean,
minutia.
There's no minutia around Hero.
Right.
Yeah. If you get
Hero,
if you get Hero from me, I hate you.
Yeah. Hero. It's all in the delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, you can never say like, "Hey, going hero."
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? It's like that'd be like,
Good on you, you fucking
it's
hero.
like you have a van with candy in it.
Yeah.
Like, you're a weirdo. All right, to the
I
question.
don't even know how we got there.
Yeah, I don't know. This is...
My black and blue pants
Oh yeah.
got a very
Sorry,
big...
Jess.
You're black and you've got him.
No.
So the brand black and blue that everybody knows. Sorry, Jess. I just had to say that. Public
Yeah, apology.
Public apology.
The ones I sent in the group chat, the what were they, white khaki?
Yeah, hectic.
Got a very, very strong no from my wife. A
Yeah.
very strong no.
Yeah.
She's like, you can get the shirt, but like you can never wear those pants. Like, okay, it's fair enough.
I can't get the shirts. I feel like I fit the mold too much.
It won't be ironic for you.
It'll just be I feel like it'll be a rite of passage for me. So I just can't do it.
Yeah, she's like, but they're gross. I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
not about it looking aesthetic.
Yeah,
It's a statement.
Yeah.
I just looked at it again and it's worse than I remember.
It's so
Yeah,
good,
it's
man.
bad.
It's a cultural. We really need a TV screen for this right now.
I'll put it on the screen.
But it's a cultural step
Yeah.
to be like, you know what?
Yeah. I
wear black and blue.
I don't want to do it because I look like the people that, and then I'll just be like just another creepy, greasy
Yeah, you are Rick
Guido.
Roden.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just like, nah.
You become Rick.
I'll just hang on to whatever I'm hanging on to, which is not much. All right, get into the questions.
Now you can do your questions.
All right, thank you, Ben.
I'm done.
Oh, we got there because Jason's mum said gym heroes.
That's
yeah,
right.
Jim Harris.
That's
Yeah,
right.
hero.
Yeah.
Don't fight me. All right, it's funny. These are a lot about like diets because everybody's dying.
Yeah. Why is everyone dieting in winter? It's
Everyone's
so
hungry.
stupid.
Oh, I got a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
A lot of photo shoot preps too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would we run a photo shoot at the end of? Yeah. Anyway, why
Yeah,
have we
but-
done this to people?
No, because then
Because
you
that's when
shred
you
it.
want to look good.
Because then
I
you
know.
shred it into the hotter months.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and then you walk around with less clothes on.
Yes.
Sometimes none,
Oh.
depending on where you go.
Oh.
How often do you program a refeed or a diet break, Ben?
I don't work with.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, for me or my clients.
Ben already divulged his plan.
Yeah.
It's every 2 weeks, guys. For himself, not.
I don't program
And it's not even a refeed. It's a diet break.
I don't program refeeds. I give myself 3,600 calories for a week every 4 weeks.
It's
No.
2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, guys. It's my method.
For clients, I don't have anyone that I would lay it out deliberately
Yeah.
for. It would always be reactionary.
Yep. So you never say like, we're going to go for this long and then you're going to get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's usually data and check-in based.
Yeah. So what are you looking for in that data and that check-in?
Lack of adherence,
Yeah.
a stall in progress, which usually means a lack of adherence, and then just like subjective, like I'm struggling or I'm like training shit and mood shit.
Yeah.
And, like I don't have anyone right now. Like I got a couple of girls who will compete next year, but I don't have anyone right now that it matters enough for them to suffer.
Yeah.
And all of them prioritize training performance equally with aesthetics.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no value to that.
Yeah, feels. Yeah, fair. I will program a refeed based on those same parameters most of the time.
Yeah.
We bank days in the prep to utilize them for overfeeding. So I'll put them in. It's kind of weird. Oh, it's not weird. It's like I have a system. So the first kind of 50% of the prep, or maybe even like 40% of the prep, I'll do like a period of like linear dieting, and then a whole week at like a diet break.
Yeah.
And then I'll just gauge feedback, like personal feedback. Did they like the week at maintenance? Like, how do they feel coming out of it? What happens before and after? And then as the body fat goes down, I find that less valuable.
Yeah.
I find it less valuable, especially working with like natural athletes, like from a muscle retention perspective as well. Like, it's better to periodically flux their calories
high.
Yeah, just for muscle retentive purposes as well as like mental.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the fat loss though, because at the end of the day, elevating.
Restarting anything.
Why would increasing calories make you burn more fat? Like, I feel like people miss the understanding of that.
Would just be if you move more, right? You feel better.
Well, yeah,
so
but it's like
an acute spike in activity.
But the amount of calories you're going to spike to take advantage of the refeeds, which would be like 2 days at a maintenance or a surplus or whatever. Like, you're not burning body fat.
Yeah.
That's not the purpose you put it in there for.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'll do. And then usually if we hit new all-time lows, so this is like the last part of the prep, like we'll refeed once we hit like an all-time low and hold it for a tiny bit.
Yeah, okay.
And then we put it up and then kind of drop it back down, put it up, drop it back down. So that bit's like real reactive because you got to go back and forth. So even like I've got a couple of my athletes, they're pretty much updating me every day. It's like, this is what the average is, this is what my weight is, and it's like, I'm like, if you hit the new low from the previous week, we'll do it. If it takes another day though, like we'll just stretch the refeed out. So there's no like set day. It's just like it happens when we hit that new low and then we flux it.
Yeah, so it could be day 6, could be day 10, depending on.
Correct. Yeah. So because you don't want to like just get habitual especially if they're not kind of progressively going down. Like you want to be like, well, let's just see. Maybe it's just a bit more time, because sometimes it's just just need to dig another layer of the hole, right, and just get yourself a bit lower. So that's how I use it for most.
Does your approach change male to female client in a prep? Obviously, males they're obviously going to come on stage with much lower body fat.
You can bury them a bit harder. I typically, the only thing that changes is like the macronutrient ratio. So like I'll refeed the female clients with more fats and less carbs, like comparatively. And then the males, like I won't do that. Like they'll get more.
Is that still up to like a gram a kilo, or you overshoot that as well?
I can overshoot that. Yeah. In some instances, like sometimes it depends how much they weigh.
Yeah.
If they're like 40 kilos, like I don't want to give them like 40 grams of fat. So
Yeah.
A bit. Not that I've had clients like 42 kilos. So so it'll be a bit more like 60.
Yep.
I like 50 to 60.
And is that palatability or is that a health?
Yeah, it's more like, they'll need more fats, from a hormone perspective than carbohydrates relatively. But I still it depends. If they get 2 refeeds, one will be high fat, one will be high carb.
Yeah.
But then that's not always the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have this
There's
is
no
just
hard,
the
fast
rules.
rule,
That's it.
I'm just curious if you're obviously, given the body fat percentages you're chasing are higher, whether or not you would do, assumably the cuts maybe a little bit less aggressive, but then also the refeeds and etc. are less. There's gonna be less of them because you're not driving as deep.
Yeah. I still take the same approach.
Yeah.
And if we land early, there's more food. Like I've got one dieting 4 days, 3 on.
Yeah.
So 4 days dieting, 3 days not. And they just offset.
Yeah.
So rather than just bringing it up, I'd rather just dig, out for a bit.
Yeah.
Dig.
Yeah.
And the best thing about that is you can just pull a day if you're not happy with the progress.
Yeah.
You can pull a day or give a day.
Yeah. I like that.
So I like that process. So that's usually how it works, to be honest. So I'll go a period of time of linear dieting, then I'll do diet break, so for a week. And then after that, I'll just linear dieting and then I'll start fluxing calories. So do like 6 days 1, 5 days 2, 4 days 3 as the leaner they get.
Yeah.
And then you never know, like depending on where you are in the prep and if they're ahead or if they're good or if they're behind, you're just like, think of it just like a Lego block. Like you're just pulling one away from the diet phase. Like you're pulling one diet day away and putting it in the high day, or you're pulling a high day and putting it to a diet day.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing that.
Makes
so that's
sense.
where it's hard to have a system. I've got a system of decision making. You just don't have this is how you would do it over 24 weeks for everyone.
Yeah.
It
It's
just doesn't work.
systemized, but it's not.
Yeah, the chain of thoughts is systemized, but not
Yeah.
how not everybody gets the same. You look at the calories, like they'll all, if you overlap them, they're all, going up and down at different times.
It's the same with the reactive method, right? Like people hear like reactive, it's like, well, that means you don't have a plan. It's like I do. I know exactly what I'm looking
it's a
for.
blueprint.
It's just when it happens.
Correct. Yeah, and you don't know when it's going to happen, really.
Yeah.
Because and then working with people who are assisted, it's even wilder because the body weight will fluctuate so much because you've got so many variables that are there to like increase cell volume, muscle size, muscle retention, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, well, you didn't lose weight this week, so we're going to bomb your calories. You're like, you look shredded. Yeah. So you got to go. Your decision making changes slightly in that instance, but you can obviously like just pull a little bit more from that.
More aggressive.
You can drag them out for a little bit longer, but I tend to find like it's better to like you can't drag them too much because you don't want to like just stress and over tie them. Because at the end of the day, it's the same system, like same bones, muscles. Yeah. So you can't dig them too hard because you'll see it. You can see a real tired body. Yeah. So you still need to play with the same rules. You've got a little bit more wiggle room. There's a little bit more amplification of everything. Yeah. The refeeds are higher. The lows are lower. Yeah. Because you're playing with, a bit more. Got a bit more cards to play with. I don't want to make it sound too enticing. So I don't want to be that person.
Do you find being someone that's assisted, do they deal with it differently mentally? Because assumably being assisted is do you feel better? Do you feel worse? Like, if you can drive them harder, for example, like you've got a larger deficit, you're trying to pull them in even leaner.
Yeah, I think it's hard.
Is that offset by so say like a natty athlete, like fucking 8 to 10 weeks out, it's like libido, all of that's gone. Yeah. Energy levels, all of that's going to plummet off the back of that. You would assume that being assisted, that's supported at least. Is there a balance of I don't want to say how hard it is because it's not the right language, but...
No, I don't think so. Just given, some of the feedback from, 2 of the athletes that I have, one naturally and one that's not. I think it's equally as stressful, we'll call it, because you're still... The reason why someone moves into... The criteria in an assisted federation is still amplified. Yeah. So it's still way leaner and harder in terms of the look. Yeah. So you're just able to get to that level of leanness. Like, they don't sit there... Like, no one sat there in the IFBB and gone, oh, we'll just make the look like this. The look is that look because you can get it. Yeah. And if you go to, like, the natural side, like, that look is just a little bit softer, but it's probably softer because they just can't physically get any more out of that. Mm-hmm. So those pursuits are still the same in terms of their difficulty. You're just playing with a different set of rules here because the look is different.
Yeah, I was just curious, like, if you're assuming you're more aggressive for an assisted athlete, mentally is that worse? Or is it...
I would say it's the same.
It's the same because you got a little bit of support.
I would say it's the same. Yeah. I don't think it's easier. Not from what I can see.
Would never.
No, I don't think so.
Easier.
Yeah, I don't think so. I like it hits as hard. Yeah. If not harder. Yeah. Because it's like you're still hungry, you're still tired. Yeah, but those things don't really, like, even the enhancements that you've got, like, that doesn't negate that to as much as people would think. Yeah. Like, you still don't want to train, and you still it's just like you probably don't pull up sore as quickly, and
like, makes a lot of other things go the other way too. Yeah, food regulation and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, we're just looking at all of the, like, quote unquote
physical
positive, the positive attributes of going down that route, and then there's obviously a number of negatives that you have to manage. Yeah, and they're different from person to person as well. Yeah, so that's where it's still difficult. It's still challenging, and I don't think it's any different. Yeah. Yeah, especially if the pursuit for both is to be the best.
Yeah, I just think a lot of people would... If you looked at, on paper, the assisted athletes protocol and the natty athletes protocol, you'd be like, oh, what most people would do, like the general population, would go, oh, well, that one's way harder. And then you tell them they're assisted, they're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, and it's not.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like people just
Yeah.
that's fine. Like the drugs just fix everything. It's like, not. No.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah, I think, to the naive, they would obviously suggest that. But if you immerse yourself in your community and you see what happens at the top, like, the guys are fucking killing themselves.
It's wild.
125, 130 kilos, 4-5% body fat, maybe less, eating like 3 eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
And a coffee.
Yeah.
3 eggs, and you're 130.
Yeah.
Like just muscle.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. So it's still tough.
Yeah.
It's still real tough.
What else we got?
Does programming change in a deficit phase compared to a build? That's a good one.
Yeah.
So great question.
I know you've recently maybe changed in the last few years how you approach that, going to more towards heavier.
I think it changes depending on who you work with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to answer yours first, and then I'll...
Yeah, so for someone who has a performance-based outcome, no. When we try and do the deficit, yes.
Yeah.
So if you're a competitive powerlifter, I want your diet done at the end with like 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
I don't want you cutting. After that, it'll happen, and I've done it, and I'll continue to do it. But ideally, you're at your goal weight. Like the group I've got now, it's like you're all. We've done this now.
Yeah, we just keep the weight as is, and now we can just train with adequate supply of nutrients.
We all had good long off seasons. We all got into the no one's going to be spitting in a cup on weigh-in day. Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
For a physique going into a deficit, again, the people I work with, I don't see that much benefit
To changing it?
Yeah.
So I just go with the idea that programs that build muscle keep muscle.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't really change at all.
Yeah.
If you have somebody who trains really hard and high intensity, you may consider reducing training volume. But then I would go with like an increase in training frequency.
Yep.
So you decrease the overall exposure in a session, like the density of the session, but you would just like increase
more of them.
Yeah. So you do an overall like less work as per se, but because it's hard, because it's intense, and because it happens more times in the week, like that will sufficiently maintain the tissue, because that's realistically what you're trying to do. Trying to just maintain the muscle size, and you're almost just trying to maintain the strength, or just take like what little progressions are there if you have them. Like it's not going to happen in a linear fashion. You don't have the environment to support it, really, calories being specific. So then if you have somebody, so that's somebody who's like trains hard, probably I would say an advanced trainee, intermediate, dipping into the advanced realm, like high work ethic, So not everybody is like that. So that is where you need potentially more work to accrue the same amount of stimulus. Just think of it like if you're a professional basketballer, and you're taking free throws, you'd probably hit 92 out of 100.
Yeah.
So you need less shots to hit 92.
Yeah.
Let's say it took him 107 shots to get 100.
Yeah.
Right. If I took those shots, I would probably need 170 shots.
Yeah.
So you're a less trained individual. You need more to do the same.
Yeah.
So that's where it takes a little bit of tinkering. So you can see higher training volumes in a cut. And then I can even use like an example. So Jackson, who's competing now, we did a photo shoot prep when we first got together, and his training volume was exponentially higher.
Yeah.
So now it's not.
Yeah.
But it's because,
he trains well.
He trains effectively. Yeah. Which is good technique and high levels of effort.
I think... Yeah, it's interesting because I think even with my physique clients, which I have probably 50 to 60% of right now, my metrics still so focused on performance.
Yep.
And still finding progress. And I think if you less than 3, maybe even less than 5, unless you're like really pushing a deficit, like really getting lean, I still find performance.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like 60% of like strength improvement is going to come from neural adaptations anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to build muscle to perform better.
Yeah.
So if you're only 20 to max 30% deficit, we're not driving you that hard. You're not like skin inside out peeled.
Yeah, they'll just become a level of body fat where you just won't be able to perform well because just hormonally,
Correct.
Physiologically, you just can't.
Which, for the most people that I work with,
Which is not
it's not worth
Or you're
going.
just dancing on the border and then you dip out.
That's when you start to get the adherence issues, the mood issues, and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, we don't need to be here. This is not, like, you like training, so let's keep liking training. If you want to go through that and get peeled, awesome, let's do it.
Yeah.
But most people at the moment, I'm sort of like, ask the question, like, we can keep going, or we just have a 4-week maintenance phase and then pull more body fat off after that.
Yeah.
And most people are like, yeah, I feel like shit, so let's do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the training doesn't really change, and even my expectations don't change.
Yeah.
It's like I still expect most, like, progress in most sessions.
Yeah. And I think who's asking this question is probably going with the idea of, like, are the reps going to go up because that's going to burn more calories and, that's going to be... Because, there's that like, idea that the low reps build the muscle and the high reps don't.
Yeah.
Which is not true. If you equate the effort, so just working close to failure in both rep ranges, they'll both build muscle. They'll both be sufficient.
Yeah.
And then realistically, like, energy expenditure over a resistance training session isn't as high as people think.
Yeah.
So I just really, like, use the mindset when we're dieting where it's resistance training is there to retain the muscle so you can keep the body shape that you're working towards.
Yeah.
And then you're using your diet most influentially to create the deficit and drop the body fat. And then you're also using your activity levels to amplify that deficit. It's not the best way. Like, your diet is the best way. There's just more compensatory mechanisms that come with training, like with doing activity work. So you don't want to just use that.
Yeah.
And then you use those two things to peel the body fat off.
Yeah.
So you've got resistance training to retain the muscle, and then you've got the diet and the cardio or activity to peel the body fat off.
Yeah.
And if you look at it that way, you'll go into your training sessions, in my opinion, with a much better mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I've got to give this everything I've got to retain the tissue that I have.
Yeah.
And then the way you program is, a reflection of that. So in my opinion, it's the most effective way to train.
Yeah.
In that instance, when you are in a deficit, is not a lot of reps. It's an intensity that's enough for that person to not fuck themselves up, but to show up every week.
Yeah.
So that's where most of the time, like, we'll sit between like 6 and 10 reps.
Yeah, and I've, like, seen reasonable arguments made on both sides. But the opposite argument is, well, if you train with higher rep ranges, you're more at risk of injury when you're in a deficit. So if you train at higher rep ranges, you're going to be safer.
Absolutely.
And that's probably the position I take from a powerlifting standpoint, because I can't choose exercise selection. So when we say, I want you finished your diet 12 weeks out, it's like you're doing triples.
Yeah, you don't want to be...
want your recovery compromised at this point.
I agree. Yeah, and that's where you'll see a gravitation towards, not all, but a lot of fixed range movements, like at the end of the prep. It's just a safety thing. Like, these people get uncomfortable when they sit in a chair for too long because their arse bone is like pressing against the seat. So just to, bring context to that decision making, like making them do like heavy, and they're obviously fatigued. So I would argue that being in a deficit and being that low level of body fat, just cognitively, like, how can they perform complex movements? How can they get that?
You drop it in the milk carton when you take it out of the fridge.
Yeah, like how
don't
you
ask them to squat.
Agreed. So how are you getting? And then so you're then working it back to like the level of the muscle though. So it's like, how are you getting that level of activation, like that voluntary activation to fire those motor units that are needed? Like, how are you getting that if you're so like? Surely that has an effect. Like the physiological system is impeded.
Yeah.
The nervous system, like, surely that doesn't activate as much motor units as possible. When if you put them in a more stable, fixed range position that's less complicated, even in those impeded environments, surely you still get more, maybe not the same, like as if that person was not dieting.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, way more important.
Yeah, Vic Rose just did that campaign of like, I think it's 5 hours sleep or 4 hours sleep or something like that is like the same as being like 0.1.
Yeah. It's like a night on the piss, right?
Yeah, and they've got heaps of pushback because all these parents come out and like, what do you want us to do? Just stay home because they don't sleep.
Yeah, because they got,
But like the cognitive function is so reduced just from not sleeping.
Absolutely.
It's like, well, these people are in that hyper stressed, hyper fatigued zone all the time, and you're asking them to complete a complex task under load in a stressful environment. Doesn't start to
it doesn't add up. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
So I think obviously to cover that off too, it's interesting listening to us both talk about it and listening to like the clients, what they want as well. Like I think most people I work with right now, and it's probably because it's the number one line in most of my marketing, is just like enjoy your training.
Yeah.
Like enjoy going to the gym. And most of them, the biggest reward for them, why they deal with 4 sets of front foot elevated Bulgarians and shit like that. Like
Ben hates you.
Yeah.
Squats.
Why they're willing to do that is because they can see tangible progress on a weekly basis, and performance is like a thing for them to be like, yes.
Do you reckon some people do it because the idea that's hard, it's good?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I got a client who's just like, I know this is hard and I know it's working.
Yeah, definitely. If it sucks, it's good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if the overall culture or your purpose for going to the gym is you get reward from performance, how you then go into a deficit and how you process plans and all that kind of stuff long term has to consider that. Because then like, well, what's your effort going to be like? What's your adherence going to be like? What's your attention to detail outside of the gym going to be like if you don't like it?
Yeah.
So if we're putting an importance on, well, everything works better if you like what you're doing.
Yeah.
It kind of changes the decision making a little bit versus
The training has to be enjoyable.
I don't care about anything else. I just want the outcome. That's sort of a different, like writing that program would be even for a powerlifter is different than I need to enjoy my session.
Yeah. I just wonder if there is anybody who really doesn't enjoy their training session who is in a pursuit like that. Or like, even at the like most elite level, like maybe it's like sub fractions of their training, but the task they still enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon Usain Bolt like loved being in the weight room to like run faster? Like he probably hated that, but he loved the pursuit of running.
Yeah.
You know? It's like LeBron James, like, oh, I hate basketball. It's like, no, you don't. Like, you'd never would. So you have to enjoy.
Yeah.
So for us, because it's like the training is the task.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I get maybe some bodybuilders don't enjoy certain training sessions because at the end of the day, that's not really what they're doing. Like they're posing, but it's like if you don't train, you don't get up there.
Yeah.
So maybe you still enjoy it. I don't know.
I think it's more just like session layout, exercise selection.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. It's just like, I don't like this exercise.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I understand. I guess and this is the pursuit, right? So because the pursuit is so fixed and narrow, we spoke about that last week in powerlifting, like you have to do it. That is somewhat like non-negotiable, but slightly negotiable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like for us, it's like, it's not really that big of a deal. It's like, if you don't like something, like you kind of can find a compromise.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It's my favorite thing about off season.
Yeah.
It'd be so much more creative.
Yes.
People are just like, this doesn't feel good. I don't like that or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. Do this. Do this instead. Like, and they're like, oh, I love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're like, you have a client who knows a bit about training. They're like, oh, this doesn't feel good, so I swapped it for that. It's like, cool, like for like, done.
And then every now and then you're
great.
like, no, you don't like it because you shit there. Stay in it.
If it's a Bulgarian split squat, I'm like, no, don't change it.
I had a couple of this off season that like we had really specific things we needed to work on, and I knew there was really specific stuff they needed to do, and they were just like, I hate this.
You hate it because you're not good at it.
I know, because you're shit at it, and your physique and your strength reflects it. Yeah. So let's fix it. And they're like, okay.
But that kind of buy-in, that explanation is like, rather than just programming something because it's hard.
Yeah.
You're programming it like it's hard because they're not good at it, but they can see why they need to do it because they need to get better at it.
Yeah, because then you go, see how this happened on the platform? Do the fucking exercise. Yeah. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in my world, it's just when they do the exercise, they feel weak at it. I'm like, of course you do.
Yeah,
like
you're supposed to.
Yeah. It's like, you have massive shoulders and a small chest for a reason.
Yeah. Shut up.
Souls.
Leave me alone.
Oh, I didn't. Just like the easiest one, hey. Sorry, bro. Get out.
You know, it's so weird.
I wasn't even thinking about you then.
I'm actually like happy with my chest right now, but I'm like, where's my back gone? I've never had. I remember like.
Maybe everything else is just catching up.
Training with you, like, back first when we ever started doing workouts together, I'm like, back day's the best because I can keep up with Jace.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, my back looks small. I fucking hate it.
Nah, everything's catching up.
Maybe.
Just think of it like that. You're just balancing out the physique.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look as massive.
It's not over the top.
Yeah. I wonder what's better, though. It's like
big back or big chest.
No. As in, like, do you want that just like one fuck off big muscle, or do you want everything?
I was thinking about this the other day.
Because if it stands out, if you balance yourself out,
I think if you're not a bodybuilder, a freak thing's way better.
Yeah, you just want massive arms.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want massive arms all the time.
I was halfway through my second arm session on my time-limited program,
Yeah.
thinking, fuck, I wish my back was better, but also my delts are coming up heaps and my arms are big, and I'm going to wear a singlet a lot, and that's more important.
Yeah. And you probably just haven't worked your back, like...
Yeah.
To, so like a mesocycle of...
It's just been, it's been a strength for so long that I'm just
Yeah. Did that with my shoulders for a bit, and I'm like, getting small shoulders.
Sort it out.
Yeah. But I wake up every day going...
Yeah.
You're just small.
So we did 3 lat raises and it was fixed.
I could do like... I have small shoulders, so then I just put in like 15 sets of lateral raises. It's like, we're going to do it good here, guys.
Yeah. For 4 weeks and then not train him again for a year.
I hope so. Are there training splits that are better than others? That's what the question was. Do you think there are?
I do.
Mm-hmm. What's your...
Let's go from I don't even want to say like what I'm trying to do with my own communication is start saying strength as a general strength practice, not default to powerlifting.
Yeah.
If your goal is performance and that performance outcome is strength, yes. I think there is splits that are...
Is there like one that would come to mind, like comparatively to another, or...
Either like some kind of upper-lower variation.
Yep.
Or like I also really like anterior-posterior, but I would default as to saying high frequency, in my experience, is far superior than lower frequency for strength and performance outcomes.
Is that for every athlete though, or would that be better for a beginner and an intermediate, and then an advanced athlete you would consider?
The only time it would not work, even then,
because if you're like the only pushback I have on that is if you were like fuck off strong.
Yeah. So if I'm programming,
do you undulate the intensity but the frequency stays, or do you just go, all right, Anthony, you can deadlift 400 kilos once a fortnight? You know what I mean?
And then still RDL in 2 days.
Yeah.
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 I think it would be a matter of managing intensities.
You see, so you're just bringing one up, pulling one down.
Because it almost... Because my thing, right, is like, if you've ever done a top set triple and 4 back off 5s, and then trained legs, you didn't fucking train legs.
Yeah.
Like it's not as wild. I'm actually trying it with the girls right now, so I may be proven totally wrong because I've got a lot of feedback on it. But they still have more hamstring work on a squat day, more quad work on a hamstring day.
Yeah.
Because the primary lift is going to take away from the performance later on in the session.
Yeah.
So we still have a bit of a spread of stuff over the week, and then the 4th day is actually kind of full body.
Okay.
So, beginner, you're doing it for skill. More exposures to
more
the
time
movement,
you do something, the better you get.
the better you get at it.
Yeah.
Intermediate into advanced, you're doing it because what I see is total output over the week is better if you move shit along the week.
Yeah.
It takes... My first intro block for intermediates that are coming on board is disgusting. Like it's savage. After that, if they can get through it, if they all do, once they get through it, they're conditioned enough to handle it.
Yeah.
They can squat on day 1 and then leg press day 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like it's just built in, which is weird. Beginners, skill-based, intermediates, more just like how much load can I move over the week with given the amount of sets and time that I have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So, that's where I sit with it. I don't know from a hypertrophy standpoint. I think your frequency then would more just pull back into being able to get enough volume in.
Yeah, I think it heavily influences that. I don't think there's a major split. Like the more you coach and the more you look into it. Like when you're younger, you kind of think like there's a split out there that you're missing out on, and like that's where most of the gains are.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, when did I make the best progress? It's like you just found a split that worked with your schedule and your lifestyle at the time, and you're willing to work hard. Like
and that
way
you can put effort into.
Agreed. And there's way more important things. Like, I feel like people worry about that first before they worry about other things. It's like, worry about training efficiently, so work on your technique. Worry about training hard.
Yeah.
Worry about what you're doing outside of the gym. So nail your diet. You'll get way more progress with any program.
Yeah.
Doing those three things first, and obviously progressively overloading. Your whatever program that is.
Yeah.
Those things will serve you better than always second guessing if this training split is the best for you.
Yeah. And what stuck with me when we had the frequency versus bro split.
Yeah.
Banter at the time. What stuck with me was like, you're kind of like, I'd rather just destroy my legs in a day and that be it.
Yeah.
And that, like, I was like, that is 100% a valid personality trait / preference with training that I'm like, that makes
it's like, what's better?
Total sense.
And that's providing they can do that. And then, because it's like, well, I think I kind of mentioned that when I knew I had more exposures, I wouldn't train as hard on the first day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, which one's better?
Yeah.
And then more technically, to answer that question, the training split, in my opinion, is based on what you're working on.
Yeah.
So if the person has a phase where we're trying to bring up the upper body, there's more upper body workouts. And that's usually, for a female, because they don't really specifically want like one muscle. Or it's lower body mainly. So there's going to be more lower body movements. So then the volume is going to be relatively higher. So then you have to spread that volume out over the week. So they're going to have more lower body sessions than they are upper body sessions. You could argue they might have like a mix.
Yeah.
So you could do like upper, lower, and then like maybe like legs and back and delts. That's a really common, one for like someone who's like a bikini athlete or something. Mm-hmm. And then for a more male orientated example, it would be the same concept, but it's like more specific to a muscle group. So it's like, trying to bring up your back. It's like, cool, there's 2 exposures for the back per week. Everything else is 1. Or you might go with a more high frequency system. I don't know if that works as great if the person's training to failure. I don't think a high frequency system works because they don't have enough time to recover to sufficiently be able to train that muscle again. So 2 exposures makes more sense to me, but 2 to 3. And then you're still managing the training volume though. So you're not doing the same amount of volume for all of those sessions across the week.
Yeah.
The first session you might do like 6 to 8. The next one you might do 4. And then the last session you might only do like, 2 sets or something.
Yeah. It's hard when you get into strength as well. 'Cause like we metric fatigue based on movements as well. So like a deadlift is way more fatiguing than a bench press. So 9 times out of 10 of a program I've
you bench press like every day
has 3, sometimes 4 presses in it.
It's also like
it's got 1.
It's also the one that you have the least amount of wiggle room on. So then you're like, well, the more you press, the better you'll get at pressing. So then you won't fuck it up.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. You misgroove a bench, like
it's done.
There's not many people out there that can muscle it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you misgroove a deadlift or a squat, like you got a little bit more wiggle room. I mean, obviously at the top, probably not, but
yeah. So I think, and then squat somewhere in the middle. So like squatting, like 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a third day that has like an accessory / isolation kind of thing for an exposure, but it's not. Yeah, and I think my experience in powerlifting is like the DOMS is different.
Yeah.
So like people hold back on performance when they go in when they're sore.
Yeah.
So I'm still backing that someone that hits their prime lift well would leg press better 2 days later because they're not debilitated from soreness. Because I don't really, at least me and the feedback from my clients, don't get sore from a triple.
Yeah, well, it's not.
You get sore from an 8.
Yeah, it's not enough reps.
Yeah, so it's like, well, you're not walking in sore. Sure, you're carrying some fatigue, but you would have carried that fatigue had you done it session 1, and the mental load and fatigue is so much higher.
Yeah.
Just the emotional arousal and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So whoever asked this question, I think you're just worrying about things that probably don't need to worry about, possibly. As in, there's things that are more important. But the best program is the one you can follow and you can do consistently and you can work hard and give it all you've got and still adhere to the principles of training, progressive overload, blah, blah, blah.
I think you gave it away with like, you probably found a split once that worked perfectly with your lifestyle. And
you made the most gains.
Tam, how we doing?
about finished.
All right. So we did? Done?
Yeah.
How much? Can't answer another question?
115.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, let's wrap it up. All right. Well, that was fun.
That was good.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions.
Yeah.
Get them in. You know, if there's anyone out there on a build, like we can answer those as well. But it's winter going into spring in Melbourne, so everyone's in a cut.
Yeah.
As always, hit the subscribe button or the follow. Share the podcast if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, still do it, please.
Yeah.
And we'll see you for another episode.
See you guys.